Fala galera, beleza? Meu nome é Pedro, esse é o Learn Portuguese, and today we're going to be talking about articles in Portuguese, definite and indefinite. And here we go. Before we begin, we have to set this concept. What is an article? So an article is a particle that will come before a noun to specify whether that's a specific or non-specific noun. And in English, we have one definite article, which is the, and we have two indefinite articles, a and an. However, in Portuguese, we'll have two definite articles, o and a. And what's the difference between them? In Portuguese, every noun has a gender. So we don't have anything such as it in Portuguese. Every noun has to have a gender. And before we go any further, I'd like to tell you that we're going to have some exercises at the end of the video, so stay tuned for those. I'll give you some examples and I would like you to write the answers down in the comments. Also, if you're new to the channel, if this is your first time, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to get more content, more Portuguese. And if you like the video, leave a like. Don't forget to leave a comment below telling me what you think about it. Without further ado, let's talk about the definite articles in Portuguese. As I said before, there are two, o and a. O for masculine nouns and a for feminine nouns. So first of all, how do I know whether a noun is masculine or feminine? Of course, if it's a person, of course, I'm going to be masculine. I'm going to be o Pedro. And this is a particularity that we have in Portuguese. Generally, people would refer to me as o Pedro instead of just Pedro, because we generally use the article along with people's names. So anyway, as I was saying, there is a rule that is most of the nouns finished in o are masculine and most of the ones finished in a are feminine. And notice how I said most, because there are exceptions. There are tons of them. But we're going to be dealing with the exceptions a little bit later. So let's talk about the main rule first. By the way, it's a very good tip. When you learn a noun in Portuguese, it's very useful to learn whether it's a masculine or feminine noun. So whenever you learn a new noun, let's say I'm learning how to say, I don't know, orange in Portuguese. That would be laranja. So laranja finishes in a. So it's very likely that it's a feminine noun, and it actually is. So when you memorize the word, don't memorize only laranja. Memorize a laranja, because that's going to make your life a lot easier. On the other hand, we have one exception. Dia. The word dia ends in a, but it's a masculine noun. So we don't say a dia, we actually say o dia, which is the day. So be careful with those. It's very useful to learn the noun and the article all together. So let's talk about some examples of the regular, let's say the regular nouns. O carro. O carro. As you see, this one ends in o and it's masculine, so it's the general rule. O carro, the car. O pato. O pato, the duck. Again, it ends in o, thus it's masculine. O cachorro. O cachorro, the dog. Again, ends in o, masculine. Now, for the feminine nouns, a faca. A faca, the knife. Feminine, ends in a, general rule. A manga. A manga. Notice the nasal sound and N, manga. So that's a tricky one because it actually has two meanings, and that's one of the problems in Portuguese. Many words have different meanings, and it's a very context-driven language, so context is very important. For instance, manga has two meanings. The first one is the fruit, mango. And the second one is a sleeve. On my t-shirt, for example. Manga, manga, and are both feminine. So that would be a manga. Ends in a, feminine, general rule. A câmera. A câmera. The camera. Again, ends in a, feminine, general rule. Easy. Now, let's talk about some exceptions. As I said before, there is one. Dia. Ends in a, but it's masculine. O dia. It's not a dia. O dia, the day. Colega. Colega. Now, that's a tricky one again because it can be o colega or a colega. because this word is uniform, which means it can be either masculine or feminine. If I say o colega, I'm talking about a male colleague. It's the colleague. But if I say a colega, I'm talking about a female colleague. A colega. O cinema. O cinema. The cinema. It ends in a, but it's a masculine noun. It's not a cinema, it's o cinema. Now, on the other side of the table, a paixão. A paixão. The passion. Ends in o, but it's feminine. Exception. A pretensão. A pretensão. The pretension. Again, ends in o, but it's feminine. Also, a disposição. A disposição. The disposition. The arrangement. Again, ends in o, feminine. Exception. As I said before, there are some nouns that will be uniform, and I'll give you some examples, but there are many of them in Portuguese. The first one, as we've seen before, colega. So I can say o colega, or I can say a colega. The first one is a male colleague, the second one is a female colleague. The same goes to dentista. Dentista, dentist. If I say o dentista, I'm talking about a male dentist. If I say a dentista, I'm talking about a female dentist. The same for estudante. Estudante. O estudante is a male student. A estudante is a female student. Now, let's talk about plurals a bit. As you already know, o or a means the. What if I want to say, for example, the dogs? If I want to say the dog, I would say o cachorro. O cachorro. What if I want to say the dogs? Then I have to flex not only the noun, but also the article. So I won't say o cachorros. Instead, I will say os cachorros. Os cachorros. So I have to add the S to the article as well. Os cachorros. The dogs. What if I want to say the girl? A menina. A menina. But what if I want to say the girls? It's the same. I won't say a meninas. I will say as meninas. As meninas. Alright, now that we know everything about the definite articles, let's talk about the indefinite articles. In English we have two, in Portuguese we also have two. And then again here, it's going to be one for feminine nouns and one for masculine nouns. For masculine nouns, we have to say And for feminine nouns, we say uma, which is actually the number 1 in Portuguese. The numbers 1 and 2 have genders as well, but we'll talk about those later on. For now, we just need to know that is used for masculine nouns and uma for feminine nouns. For instance, if I want to say a dog, I will say o cachorro, because we already know cachorro is a masculine noun. Cachorro, a dog. But this is not specific. Any dog. A dog on the street, for example. If I want to say an elephant, elefante. Elefante. Now, elefante ends in E, so I have to actually know. And I do know that this is a masculine noun, so I'm going to say elefante, an elephant. On the other hand, if I want to say an apple, uma maçã. I know that maçã is a feminine noun because it ends in a, and it belongs to the general rule. So I would say uma maçã, an apple. If I want to say an orange, likewise, I would say uma laranja. Uma laranja. Now, we also have plural versions of those. Becomes uns, and uma becomes umas. And what do they mean? If I want to say a dog, I would say cachorro. What if I say uns cachorros? That means a few dogs. Uns cachorros. The same happens with uma and umas. If I say uma maçã, it's an apple. But if I say umas maçãs, that means a few apples. So, very quickly summarizing, and uma means actually one, but we can use them as a or an. And umas means a few. Both of them, a few. And notice how I actually write uns with an instead of am. That happens because it's one of the plural rules in Portuguese. And to see all the rules, I'm going to be posting very soon on Instagram. So you better go there and check it. I'm going to leave the link below in the description. Go there, take a look at the rules that we use for plurals in Portuguese. Now, let's take a look at some exercises. I'm going to leave here some examples in English, and I would like you to translate those to Portuguese. And don't forget to write the answers down in the comments below. And I'm going to heart your comment. I'm going to comment whether you got the right one or the wrong one. So let's take a look. Alright, galera. So that was the video on definite and indefinite articles. I hope you understand. I hope it's pretty clear. And once more, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to get all the notifications for all the videos. Don't forget to check our Instagram below for more content. I post there generally grammar related stuff, also vocabulary, so it's very useful for you to go there and check out as well. Leave a like and leave a comment if you liked the video. And I'll see you next time. Tchau, galera. Fui!